She said we needed space, but still expected emotional support and financial help. I didn't argue or beg. I focused on stability, career growth, and quiet distance until she learned that space doesn't include unlimited access to my time or money. I need space, but I still need you to be there for me. I looked up from my laptop, the glow of the screen reflecting off the wine glass she was holding. Her expression was serious, like she'd rehearsed this. I closed the laptop slowly. What does that mean? She sighed, setting the glass down on the coffee table between us. It means I need time to figure things out, but I don't want to lose what we have. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. I was 31, she was 29. We'd been together for 4 years, living together for 2. The apartment was mine, the lease in my name, the furniture mostly bought with my money. So you want to break up but keep me around? Her face tightened. That's not what I'm saying. Then explain it to me like I'm stupid, because that's exactly what it sounds like. She stood up, pacing toward the window. I just feel like we've gotten into this routine, and I don't know who I am anymore outside of us. I watched her, waiting for more. I need to rediscover myself. The words sounded borrowed, like something from a self-help book or a podcast. And you can't do that while we're together? She turned back to me. Not the way things are now. I leaned back into the couch. Okay. She blinked. Okay. Yeah. If you need space, take it. Her shoulders relaxed slightly, relief washing over her face. Really? But let's be clear about what space means. The relief flickered. What do you mean? Space means distance. It means you do your thing, I do mine. No expectations. She frowned. I'm not saying we're breaking up. Then what are you saying? She hesitated. I'm saying I need some breathing room, but I still want us to talk, to support each other. I stood up, walking to the kitchen. So you want the benefits without the commitment. That's not fair. I poured myself water, taking a long drink. You're asking me to be emotionally available while you figure out if you even want this relationship. How is that fair to me? She followed me into the kitchen. Because I love you, and I think we can work through this if you just give me time. Time I can give you. Unlimited access to me? That's different. Her voice rose slightly. Why are you making this so difficult? I'm not. I'm just setting boundaries. She crossed her arms. This isn't what I expected. What did you expect? That I'd just wait around while you explored whatever it is you think you're missing. I expected you to understand. I set the glass down. I do understand. You want space. You'll have it. The next morning, she packed a bag. Not everything, just enough for a few weeks. She was going to stay with her friend across town, the one who'd been single for 5 years and wore it like a badge of honor. I'll call you in a few days, she said at the door. I nodded. Take care. She looked like she wanted to say more, but didn't. The door closed, and the apartment felt different immediately. Emptier, but also lighter. I went to work that day like nothing had happened. My job in project management required focus, and I was good at compartmentalizing. 3 days passed before my phone rang. Her name lit up the screen during my lunch break. I stared at it for a moment before answering. Hey. Hi. Her voice was soft, tentative. How are you? I'm good. Busy with work. You? I'm okay. I miss you. I took a bite of my sandwich, chewing slowly. That's natural. Silence stretched between us. That's it. That's all you're going to say. I swallowed. What do you want me to say? I don't know. That you miss me too. You asked for space. I'm giving it to you. You're being cold. I'm being respectful of your request. She made a frustrated sound. I didn't ask you to stop caring. I haven't stopped caring. I've just stopped making you my priority while you decide if I'm worth yours. God, why are you being like this? Like what? Like you don't even care that we're going through something. I set the sandwich down. I care. But I'm not going to fall apart because you need time. I have a life too. I know that. Do you? Another long pause. Can we meet for coffee this weekend? I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? Because space means space. Not coffee dates where we pretend everything's normal. I just want to see you. And I need to respect the boundary you set. Give it time. She was quiet for a moment. Fine. The call ended. I went back to my sandwich, but my appetite was gone. The following week, she texted. Small things at first. A meme she thought I'd find funny. A song that reminded her of me. I responded politely, but briefly. Then came the financial question. Hey, I know this is awkward, but can you help me with my car insurance this month? I'm a little short. I stared at the message. She'd always struggled with money, spending freely on clothes and dinners out, barely saving. I'd covered things before without question. Rent when she was between jobs. utilities when her hours got cut, her credit card payment once when she'd overspent on a vacation. I typed back, I think you should figure that out on your own. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Are you serious right now? You wanted independence. This is part of it. I'm not asking for a handout. I'll pay you back. You said that last time. Wow. Okay. I see how it is. You asked for space to figure out who you are. Part of that is managing your own finances. You're being petty. I didn't respond. An hour later, another text. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm just stressed. I understand. But my answer is still no. Can we at least talk about this? There's nothing to talk about. You're an adult. You'll figure it out. She didn't text for 3 days after that. When she did, it was late at night. I had a panic attack today. I really needed you, and you weren't there. Guilt tugged at me, familiar and heavy. I'd always been the one she called when things got hard. But I typed back carefully. I'm sorry you went through that. Have you thought about talking to a therapist? I don't need a therapist. I needed my boyfriend. I'm not sure what I am right now. You asked for space, remember? Space doesn't mean abandoning me. And space doesn't mean I'm on call for emotional support whenever you need it. That's not how this works. You're being cruel. I'm being consistent. She called immediately after. I didn't answer. She called again. I turned my phone off and went to bed. Work became my focus. I'd been eyeing a senior position for months, and I threw myself into preparing for the interview. Late nights at the office. Networking events I'd previously avoided. Online courses on leadership and strategic planning. My boss noticed. You're really stepping up lately. Everything okay? Yeah. Just ready for the next challenge. He nodded approvingly. Good. We need people like you moving up. 2 weeks after she'd left, I got the interview. 2 weeks after that, I got the promotion. The salary bump was significant, nearly 20%. I celebrated alone, ordering takeout and watching a movie I'd wanted to see. My phone buzzed with a text from my brother. Heard about the promotion. Proud of you, man. I smiled, typing back thanks. Another text came in. From her. Can we talk? Please. I considered ignoring it, but curiosity won. About what? About us. I miss you. I think I made a mistake. What changed? I realized I don't need space. I need you. I set the phone down and finished my movie. When it ended, I picked it back up. I think you should take more time. Are you kidding me? You asked for space 3 weeks ago. That's not enough time to figure out anything real. I know what I want now. 3 weeks ago you didn't. What happens in another 3 weeks when you change your mind again? I won't. You don't know that. Please. Can we just meet and talk face to face? I thought about it. Not yet. When I'm ready. This is bullshit. I didn't respond. The next day, she showed up at my office. The receptionist called my extension. There's someone here to see you. Says it's personal. I knew immediately. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She seems pretty upset. Tell her I'll call her later. I didn't call. That evening, she was waiting outside my apartment building, leaning against her car, arms crossed. I parked and walked over slowly. You can't just show up like this. You won't talk to me any other way. Because you asked for space. I'm giving it to you. I don't want it anymore. That's not how this works. You don't get to turn it on and off whenever it's convenient. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying. I made a mistake. Can't you just forgive me and move on? There's nothing to forgive. You wanted space, you got it. Now you need to sit with that decision. For how long? I don't know. That's not fair. You ending things without warning wasn't fair either, but I didn't show up at your friend's place demanding answers. She wiped her eyes. I didn't end things. I just needed a break. A break from what? From me? From responsibility? From having to consider someone else in your decisions? From feeling like I was losing myself? I softened slightly. And have you found yourself? She looked down. I don't know. Then you have your answer. Keep looking. I don't want to look anymore. I want to come home. This isn't your home anymore. Her head snapped up. What? You moved out. You made that choice. I took some clothes for a few weeks. I didn't move out. Your name isn't on the lease. You don't pay rent. Legally, this was never your home. That's a technicality. It's reality. So what? You're just done with me. I didn't say that. But I'm not going to pretend the last month didn't happen. It was 3 weeks. 3 weeks where you got exactly what you asked for, and now you don't like it. She started crying harder. I love you. I know. Then why are you doing this? Because loving someone doesn't mean sacrificing yourself when they can't decide if they want you. I walked past her toward the building entrance. Wait. I stopped but didn't turn around. Can I at least come up and get some of my things? I'll box them up and drop them off this weekend. You're really not going to let me in? Not tonight. I heard her sob behind me as I went inside. Upstairs, I poured a drink and sat on the couch. My phone buzzed continuously. Text after text. I didn't read them. The weekend came. I packed her belongings carefully, everything I could find that was hers. Clothes from the closet. Toiletries from the bathroom. Books from the shelf. A framed photo of us from a trip to the coast. I stared at that one for a while before wrapping it in bubble wrap. 3 boxes total. I loaded them into my car and drove to her friend's apartment. She met me outside. You didn't have to do this. I wanted to. She looked at the boxes in my trunk. That's everything? Everything I found. Can we talk for a minute? I checked my watch. I have plans. A lie, but a necessary one. Please. Just 5 minutes. I sighed and leaned against the car. 5 minutes. She took a breath. I've been doing a lot of thinking. Good. And I realized I wasn't fair to you. I was confused and scared, and I took it out on you by asking for something I didn't really want. Okay. Okay. That's all you're going to say. What do you want me to say? That you understand. That we can work through this. I do understand. You were confused. It happens. So we can try again? I shook my head. I didn't say that. Her face fell. Why not? Because understanding why you did something doesn't mean I'm willing to go through it again. It won't happen again. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. You promised you'd pay me back the $400 I lent you 6 months ago. You promised you'd start saving money. You promised you'd work on your anxiety instead of dumping it all on me. How'd those promises work out? She flinched. That's not fair. It's true. People make mistakes. They do. And people also learn from patterns. So that's it. You're just giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm choosing myself. She grabbed my arm. I need you. I gently removed her hand. You need to need yourself first. I can't do this alone. You're not alone. You have friends, family. You have options. I want you. Wanting and needing are different things. Figure out which one it really is. I moved the boxes from my trunk to the curb. Take care of yourself. I got back in the car. She stood there watching as I drove away. My rearview mirror showed her getting smaller. The next few weeks were quiet. She texted occasionally, but less frequently. I responded when appropriate, kept things cordial but distant. My promotion came with new responsibilities. Leading a team of 12. Managing multiple high-stakes projects. The work was demanding but satisfying. I went to the gym more regularly. Started reading again, something I'd neglected. Reconnected with friends I'd lost touch with during the relationship. One of them, Chris, invited me to a concert. Man, it's good to see you out. You were a ghost for like 2 years. Yeah, I kind of disappeared. She had you on lockdown? It wasn't like that. I just got comfortable staying in. Well, you're back now. That's what matters. The concert was loud and chaotic and exactly what I needed. After, we grabbed late-night food. So what happened with her anyway? I gave him the abbreviated version. He whistled low. Damn, she really thought you'd just wait around. Apparently. What did you tell her? That space means space. He laughed. Cold-blooded. I love it. Not cold. Just clear. Most guys would have caved by now. Most guys probably have more patience than me. Nah, man. Most guys have less self-respect. I thought about that on the drive home. Was it self-respect or was it spite? I genuinely wasn't sure anymore. Part of me still cared about her deeply. Part of me was just tired of being taken for granted. A month and a half after she'd left, she sent a long email. Subject line, please read this. I opened it with my morning coffee. It was pages long. Apologies and explanations and promises. She'd started therapy. She'd gotten her finances in order. She'd realized how much she'd taken me for granted. She wanted another chance. A real one this time. I read it twice. Then I closed my laptop and went to work. I didn't respond for 3 days. When I did, I kept it short. I'm glad you're working on yourself. That's important. But I'm not ready to revisit this yet. I need more time. Her response came within minutes. How much time? I don't know. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have right now. Are you seeing someone else? The question surprised me. No. Then why can't we just talk? Because talking leads to hope, and I'm not ready to give you hope I might not be able to deliver on. So you're saying there's no chance? I'm saying I don't know yet. I can live with that. You shouldn't have to. Move on if you need to. I don't want to move on. That's your choice. The conversation ended there. 2 months in, I started seeing a therapist myself. Not because I was falling apart, but because I wanted to understand my own patterns. Why I'd allowed certain behaviors. Why I'd stayed longer than I should have in situations that didn't serve me. Dr. Patterson was in her 50s, sharp-eyed and direct. Tell me about your relationship. I did, laying out the timeline. She listened without interrupting. What are you hoping to get from our sessions? Clarity, I guess. I want to know if I'm being reasonable or if I'm just scared. Reasonable about what? Keeping my distance. Not rushing back. Do you want to go back? I sat with the question. Part of me does. And the other part? The other part remembers how small I felt every time she needed something, but couldn't be bothered to consider what I needed. Give me an example. She'd have a bad day at work and expect me to drop everything to comfort her. But when I had a bad day, she'd barely look up from her phone. Dr. Patterson nodded. That sounds exhausting. It was. So why did you stay? Because I loved her. Because I thought it would get better. Did it? No. And now she says it will be different. Yeah. Do you believe her? I thought about it honestly. I don't know. That's okay. You don't have to know yet. The session helped. So did the next one, and the one after that. I started to see patterns in myself I hadn't recognized before. The need to fix things. The tendency to make myself smaller to avoid conflict. The belief that love meant constant sacrifice. Dr. Patterson helped me reframe it all. Love is partnership, not martyrdom. I wrote that down. 3 months after she'd left, she called. I answered this time. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Really good, actually. That's great. She sounded genuine. I'm happy for you. Thanks. How are you? Better. Therapy is helping. Good. A pause. I'm not calling to ask you to come back. That surprised me. No. I'm calling to apologize. Really apologize, not just say the words. Okay. I treated you like a safety net instead of a partner. I expected you to catch me every time I fell, but never thought about whether you needed catching too. I didn't respond, letting her continue. You deserved better than that. You deserved someone who showed up for you the way you showed up for me. Thank you for saying that. I mean it. And I want you to know that I don't expect anything from you. If you never want to speak to me again, I understand. I don't want that. No. But I don't know what I do want yet. That's fair. We talked for a few more minutes. Surface level stuff. Work, family, the weather. It felt different than before. Less loaded. When we hung up, I felt lighter. A week later, I saw her at a mutual friend's birthday party. I debated not going, but decided I wouldn't let the situation control my life. She was there with a group of people, laughing at something someone said. She looked good. Healthier, somehow. Our eyes met across the room. She smiled, a small uncertain thing. I nodded back. Later, we ended up in the kitchen at the same time. Hey, you look good. Thanks. So do you. She poured herself wine, her hands steady. So, how's the new position? Challenging, but good. I'm proud of you. I know you worked hard for it. I did. And I'm sorry I wasn't there to celebrate with you. It's okay. I survived. She winced slightly. I deserve that. I wasn't trying to be mean. I know. And you're right. You did survive. You did more than survive. You thrived. Someone called her name from the other room. I should go. Yeah. She paused at the doorway. Maybe we could get coffee sometime? No expectations. Just as friends. I considered it. Maybe. Let me think about it. Okay. She left, and I stayed in the kitchen for a moment. Chris found me there. You good? Yeah. I'm good. You sure? That looked intense. It was fine. Just weird seeing her. You want to bail? Nah. I'm good. And I was. For months after she'd left, we did get coffee. A neutral spot, mid-afternoon on a Saturday. She was already there when I arrived. Thanks for meeting me. Sure. We ordered, made small talk while we waited. Once we sat down, she got to the point. I wanted to see you because I'm moving. That caught me off guard. Moving where? Portland. I got a job offer, a good one. Better pay, room for growth. That's great. Congratulations. Thanks. I leave in 2 weeks. I sipped my coffee. How do you feel about it? Nervous. Excited. It feels like the fresh start I was looking for when I asked for space. Sounds like it's the right move. I think so. She looked at me directly. I wanted to tell you in person, and to say goodbye properly. I appreciate that. I also wanted to say that I'm sorry for how I handled everything. You were right about all of it. I wanted space, but I also wanted to keep you on hold, and that wasn't fair. It wasn't. But I understand why you did it. That doesn't make it okay. No, but it makes it human. She smiled sadly. You're being very gracious. I've had time to process. I haven't been as gracious in my head. I've been pretty angry at myself. That's part of the process too. We talked for another hour. About her new job, my projects at work, mutual friends. It felt easy in a way it hadn't in months. When we left, she hugged me. Thank you for not hating me. I never hated you. You had every right to. Maybe, but that wouldn't have helped anyone. She pulled back, eyes shining. Take care of yourself. You too. I watched her walk to her car. No regret, no longing. Just a quiet acceptance that this chapter had closed. 2 weeks later, I got a text. Made it to Portland. Starting the new job Monday. Wish me luck. I typed back immediately. Good luck. You've got this. Thanks. For everything. I set the phone down and looked around my apartment. It felt like mine now, fully. No ghost of her presence lingering in the corners. I'd repainted the bedroom. Bought new furniture for the living room. Turned the spare room into a home office. The promotion had led to another opportunity. A chance to lead a major initiative that could define the next phase of my career. I'd said yes without hesitation. My therapist had smiled when I told her. You're choosing yourself. I am. How does that feel? Weird. Good. Scary. All of those are okay. 6 months after she'd left, I went on a date. Nothing serious. Just coffee with someone a coworker had set me up with. Her name was Victoria, and she was funny and smart and completely different from my ex. We talked about books and travel and our shared hatred of pineapple on pizza. So what are you looking for? She asked. I thought about it. Honestly, I'm not sure I'm looking for anything right now. Just seeing what happens. I can respect that. What about you? Same. I just got out of something messy. Not ready to jump into anything serious. What happened? He wanted me to change everything about myself to fit his idea of a perfect girlfriend. That sounds exhausting. It was. So I left. Good for you. She smiled. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the best. We went on a second date, then a third. Nothing rushed, nothing forced. Just two people enjoying each other's company without the weight of expectation. A year after my ex had asked for space, I ran into her. She was back in town visiting family. We bumped into each other at a grocery store, of all places. Oh my God, hot. Hey, when did you get back? Just for the weekend. How are you? Good. Really good. She looked different. Lighter somehow. You look happy. I am. Portland's been amazing. I'm glad. Are you seeing anyone? The question was casual, no hidden agenda. Yeah, actually. It's still pretty new, but it's good. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. And she meant it. I could tell. What about you? Not yet. I'm focusing on work and myself for now. But I'm open to it when the time is right. That's healthy. We chatted for a few more minutes. Caught up on surface level things. When we parted ways, she hugged me again. Thank you for giving me space when I needed it. Even if I didn't handle it well. We both learned from it. We did. I watched her leave, and for the first time, I felt nothing but goodwill. No resentment, no what-ifs. Just gratitude for the lessons learned. That night, I told Victoria about running into my ex. How was that? Fine, actually. Good, even. That's a healthy sign. It is. I think I'm finally at peace with how everything happened. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you'd taken her back? Sometimes. But then I remember how small I felt, and I'm glad I didn't. She reached across the table and took my hand. I'm glad you didn't too. I smiled. Me too. The next morning, I woke up and checked my phone out of habit. A text from my ex, sent late the night before. I wanted to say thank you again for yesterday. Running into you reminded me of why I respect you so much. You held a boundary when I couldn't, and it forced me to grow. I'm better for it. I hope you know that. I typed back. I'm glad you're in a good place. You deserve it. So do you. I'm getting there. And I was. Not perfect, not without struggles. But I was choosing myself every day. Choosing growth over comfort. Choosing boundaries over guilt. Choosing a future that I built on my own terms. She'd asked for space, but what she'd really given me was clarity. The clarity to see that I'd been settling. That I'd been accepting less than I deserved because I was afraid of being alone. But I wasn't afraid anymore. Because I'd learned that being alone was infinitely better than being with someone who made me feel lonely. And that was worth more than any relationship built on convenience and unmet expectations. 3 years later, I proposed to Victoria. We'd built something real, something balanced. She showed up for me the way I showed up for her. We challenged each other, supported each other, chose each other every single day. The night I proposed, she cried and laughed and said yes. I can't believe I found you. We found each other. I'm so glad your ex was an idiot. I laughed. She wasn't an idiot. She just wasn't ready. And now I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Victoria kissed me. So am I. I never heard from my ex again after that text. I hoped she'd found what she was looking for. That she'd learned to need herself the way she'd once needed me. That she'd built a life she was proud of. But mostly, I just hoped she was happy. Because that's what space was supposed to be about. Not waiting around for someone to decide you were worth their time, but giving both people the freedom to grow into who they were meant to be. Even if that meant growing apart, I'd given her space. And in doing so, I'd given myself something far more valuable. The space to become the man I was always meant to be. The man who knew his worth. The man who wouldn't settle. The man who chose himself first, so he could show up fully for someone who chose him too. And that made all the difference.